Record. Okay. So normally I will show you this table. I think you all see this before. It look very complicated, but actually we are just going to study this part only today, all right, on the nominative. So before I go for this table, so let's go for the Pali Made Easy first. All right. Lesson 10 now. So before that, remember, so far, before this lesson 10, what we learn is only verbs, action, all right? So we already learned the present tense, okay, lesson 1. Then the personal for now is only the I, you, and so on. We already learned the future tense, lesson 5. Lesson 6, we learned the imperative mode with the ma. 7, optative with the aya. 8 with the aorist, with the ma also. 9 with the gerund infinitive. Okay, so now from the lesson 10 onwards, we start on the noun. So page 20. So I hope you take this book as your basic Pali grammar book because I think it's very easy to learn. Okay, now. So, all right. So I copy here to my document because it's easy for me to. All right, so now, what is now? We have declension. So today we learn more about declension. Nouns are declined in 3 genders, right? So masculine, feminine, neuter. So for shortcut, I will just write masculine, feminine, and neuter, right? So M for masculine, F for feminine, and NT for neuter. And 2 numbers, singular and plural. Singular means like 1 person, plural means many person. So SG or PL, right? And 8 cases. So you will see 8 cases: nominative, vocative, accusative, instrumental, ablative, dative, genitive, locative, all right? So short form, nominative, vocative, accusative, instrumental, ablative, dative, genitive, and locative, right? So today we will learn only but today I think we also learn as much as we can, right? So nominative, normally we use as a subject. Vocative, we learn normally use for addressing, right? Like you address somebody like, or like old monks, or like old child, or whatever. Accusative means as object here, okay? Instrumental means is like used as instrumental, okay? Means that just take it as that. Ablative normally used in the sense of from. Dative is normally is also for purpose. Sometimes we can use it as I can just put the indirect object sometimes. So genitive is possessive. Locative means it's a place, all right? So we will use accordingly. Okay. So this is just it kind of like we call it sometimes we will see the usage of this one later, all right? So for masculine noun, it ending with A, like you see in the example. Okay, Buddha. Right, so you notice that A. So we call it final A, all right? So we use the term, we call it final A. In nominative singular, Buddha. So we call it final A. All right. And then I. There's an ending with I, final I. Long I, Senani, final long I. Short U, U, or long U, and final O. All right. So this is the one we saw here. Okay, so this one. Right. So masculine noun ending with a, I, u, o. So we call it this is called final vowel. Okay, now we see this difference, all right? Okay, so let's go back to Pali Meiji again. This one we call it stem, right? Buddha. It's not Buddho, right? Buddha is a stem. So here, I think they type wrongly. It's a singular should be Buddho, right? They type wrongly. So if you have the book, please change it to O. So they type wrongly here. So it should be the. So it's not this one. It should be O. So if please change in your book, if you print out the book, so it's O, right? So we look at the things. Buddha is a stem. Buddho is a nominative singular. Then we have another one. Buddha is a plural here. Okay. Right. So you need to differentiate between these three forms. Buddha, Buddho, Buddha. Okay. So when you see Buddha, this is we call it noun stem. Buddho is nominative singular. Buddha is nominative plural. So how does it apply? So like this one easy, like Buddho gacchati, right? So it's a nominative singular. So Buddho is a subject. So here, very easy. It's a subject. That's why I put it as a subject. So this subject is nominative singular. Like last time we learned is so, okay? So what you do is from the so, now we instead of so, we change it to Buddha. Here become Buddho. So gacchati or Buddho gacchati. But when it's finished with a long A, it's a nominative plural. So we have to change it accordingly. So Buddha gachanti. So this is a present tense, third person singular. So this is also same. This is also subject. It's a nominative plural, and then this is present tense, third person plural. But here we also, from now on, you all need to write down whether it's a masculine or feminine, right? Because you already start to mention here, we have the three gender, masculine, feminine, and neuter. So every time when you write anything, please make sure you write subject. This is subject. This is a masculine, comma. This is also masculine, comma. Okay. Then like this, your analysis is complete. Even though it's a very simple sentence, but we already see the difference between Buddha, Buddho, Buddha. Okay, any question up to here? Any question? All right, I continue, all right? So the first thing is remember, you just have to remember the basic here. Now a decline three gender, two numbers, and 8 cases. Three gender, masculine, feminine, neuter, masculine, feminine, neuter, singular and plural, SG and PL. So 8 cases. And what is the function of these cases? Because Pali is not like English or Chinese, no. So if you're going to, instead of like this, if you're going to write Buddha, if you're just going to write Buddha gacchati, so you are not declined. You are not putting it as a nominative singular. So if like this is wrong because this is just a stem. All right. What's the meaning of stem? Stem means just we call it basic form. All right, very basic form. So if you write like this wrongly, so you must change it to Buddho. Okay, so this first thing that you all should remember. So very simple, three gender, two numbers, 8 cases. Here, normally used as subject. So the subject is the Buddho goes, or the Buddha gachanti, the many Buddha. So very easy, Buddha go. There is okay. If you want to put you need to put a Buddha goes. So this is a subject, right? Okay. So if we look at the table, you find this table at the back of the book, all right? So what I do is I put everything together. But if you go to Pali Made Easy, you find this declension at the end of the book. So which page? Anybody know the page where they put the declension? Yeah. What is the declension page? So cannot remember, all right? Anyway, so we look at the noun stem.
297.
Okay, 297. Okay, let's go to 297. 293. Okay. So I think by today you all should memorize A. Noun stem ending with A, like Buddha. So far we only learned this one, Buddho, Buddha. But there are 8 cases here which you all have to memorize. I think most of you have learned declension before. Any of you never learned before? How was Simin? You learned before, right?
Sayoji, first time. This is my first time.
Oh, okay, Vijansi, first time. All right, but you heard about this before, right? Vijansi?
Just I heard the word stem like this only. Declension never.
But you know the difference between Buddho and Buddha, do you?
Don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Singular.
Okay. Buddho is singular. Buddha is
Plural.
plural. Okay, so you know this page, right? So you just need to memorize this page by heart, right? Buddho,
Okay.
Buddha. All right. Now, so this nominative. Nominative means subject. So with this one, we use, like just I mentioned, this one we use as a subject. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then followed by vocative case. Here, like is talking like, oh Buddha. Here is a many Buddhas. All right. So it's addressing. So Buddha or Buddha. It should be no, should be this one. So Buddha, Buddha. So normally for vocative case here is always short A or short form here. Short form here. So we just go through now. Just later we still need to come back later. Okay. Buddho. So we finish with O. Buddha. Buddha. You can see it finished with A. All right. It's not long A. It's a short A. Buddha. So these two are same. Okay. These two are same. Buddham. Finish with M dot. Buddhe. Right? So instrumental means that accusative is used as an object here. I go through in fast later. We still will come back in detail here, right? Buddham, Buddhe. So for those who beginners, you need to memorize these 3 together because they are quite closely related, all right? So these 3 together. So when my teacher, he taught us, he asked us to remember Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe. Okay, Vijensi, can you repeat after me? Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe. Okay, so this is like I see. Acquisition means the object. I see one Buddha. Here means Buddha means I see many Buddhas. Okay, you can see the difference, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it's one Buddha goes. Many Buddha go. Right. Okay. So for you all, when you learn Pali, please learn how to memorize and recite in this way. Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe. All right. Simin, can you open your microphone, Simin?
Hello, can hear me now?
Okay. Can you recite after me? Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe.
Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddha.
Okay, so these three. All right, so you know the difference, right, between these three? One is subject, one is addressing, one is object. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we go through later, we still come back later. All right, so instrumental and ablative, these two, you need to learn together. Why? Because the ending is same, all right? Because of this one, A, B, A, he, A, B, A, he is same. Instrumental, like, just memorize instrumental now. Ablative with the sense of from, you know, from the, here is like from the Buddha. Here, instrumental, which normally you can use translate as a with, okay? With, or another one is by, okay? Similar, if you say like by the Buddha or with the Buddha. Here is plural, so with the Buddhas, by the Buddhas. Ablative will be from the Buddha, from many Buddhas, all right? Okay, so Buddhena, Buddhebi, Buddhehi. Buddha, Buddhamha, Buddhamsma, Buddhebi, Buddhehi. All right, Pandit, please recite. Can you open your microphone? Okay. Can you recite this one? Instrumental case. Cannot hear you. Okay. Are you be able to recite? No. Okay. So Buddhena, Buddhebi, Buddhehi, Buddha, Buddhamma, Buddhasma, Buddhebi, Buddhehi. All right. Here, so far your own memory is with the na here. It's a and na, but the main thing you must remember is a na. Ablative is finished with the R sound. If you notice, amha or ha is still with the long A. This is a very short form, Buddha. This Buddha and this Buddha is different, all right? This Buddha actually is a ablative. Here is plural. So sometimes you only need to see, just remember, it's some of the possible things like this one and this one, you might lead to some confusion, right? Buddha and Buddha. But this Buddha is ablative, this one is nominative plural. And these two is same. So instrumental, Buddhebi, Buddhehi, Buddhebi, Buddhehi. All right. So dative and let me change the color. Dative and genitive, we need to recite together because of these two are similar. So dative in a sense of for, okay, F-O-R, for, like for the Buddha, right? For the Buddha. So Buddhaya, Buddhasa, Buddhanam. So genitive, Buddhasa, Buddhanam. So genitive in a sense like of the Buddha. Okay. So later I will come back to here, but generally we just look at this table first. Buddhaya, Buddhasa, Buddhanam. So genitive, Buddhasa, Buddhanam. Wendy? Okay.
Yes, I.
Okay, can you recite? This one, dative and genitive. Wendy?
Yes, can hear. Sorry. Dative case Buddhaya, Buddhasa, Buddhanam. Genitive case Buddhasa, Buddhanam.
Okay. Have you studied this before? Yes, right?
A little bit, yes.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
very
Now
detailed.
it's okay. It's okay. We just go for kind of like quick review. We still come back later. All right. Now locative. Locative, you need to recite only just locative. Locative, it has the sense of I. You know, if you notice it, it's with the I sound. Bude. A is also with the I sound. So just remember, this is kind of like with the I sound. Ablative with the long A sound. Okay, this is with the ya or sa sound. Okay, so easy for them. So Bude, Budam, Budamhi, Budasmin, Budesu. This su is very good because only so far su is the only one here. Right, so Bude, Budamhi, Budasmin, Budesu. So when we learn the Pali, the first lesson for declension is our teacher, my Pali teacher, asked to memorize this by heart. Okay. And then after memorized by heart, you know what happened? He asked us to stand one by one, stand up, and then he asked one by one to recite. Okay, so it created lots of stress. So before his class, all the students will have the Pali Made Easy book, were walking around the corridor 10 minutes before the class start to memorize this Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe. Then Buddhena, Buddhevi, Buddhehi, Buddhen, what? Another, I forget already. I also forget. So I think maybe I call one of you, few of you to recite this one by heart. All right. So those Pali under the basic class, you all should be able to recite. Can you try to memorize this by heart? I will ask you to recite without looking at your book. Just look at the screen and recite. Okay, Wendy?
Okay, try.
Okay. So you all the basic class one, you all should memorize this declension by heart. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you don't memorize it, so when you go to study other things, you might get very confused. Okay, so basically you just need to remember Buddho, Buddha, Buddha. Okay, so this one. We need to cancel this one. So this one. We don't need this, okay. Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe. Remember these three? Decide. Because if ask you to remember 8 times, how many cases we have? So 8 times 2 equal to 16. So to memorize 16 is difficult for the mind. So it's better you divide it to block, 3, then this 2, this 2. Then instead of remember 16, you divide to this nominative, vocative, acquisitive 1 block. So ability, dative, second block, and genitive, instrumental, ability, second block, dative, genitive is the third block, and last one is a fourth. So in this way, it's easier for the mind. Okay, so Buddha, 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 Buddho, Buddha, 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 Buddham, Buddhe, first block. Buddhena, Buddhevi, Buddhehi, Buddha, Buddhamha, Buddhasma, Buddha, Buddhevi, Buddhehi, second block. So Buddhaya, Buddhasa, Buddhanam, Buddhasa, Buddhanam, third block. Buddhe, Buddhamhi, Buddhasmi, Buddhesu. All right. So if you can break this 8 declension, 8 cases into 4 blocks, then your mind will not be so tired. That's how the method of learning. All right. Okay, so you can find this on the page one. So why this page? 2979. Okay, so first you memorize this one. Okay, so after that, when you get it right, so the next thing you do is memorize the I sound. All right, Muni, Muni, Munayo. Okay, Muni, Muni, Munayo. Like just now, you break to 4 blocks and memorize it. Okay, so that's the method we do. Okay, now we come back to this one. So the main thing is why we need to know the 8 cases, because the cases represent, so in Pali we'll call it a syntax, so sometimes we have the meaning called syntax. Syntax means that the purpose of the word, like in grammar point, what's the purpose? One is a subject, one addressing, one is an object, one is an instrumental, ablative. Okay, so how do we use it? So this is a subject. This is like this one we translate old something, old monk or whatever. Acquisitive is the object here. Instrumental we translate with the word with or by. Abilities is from. So the dative will be used the word for. genitive, we use the word of. Locative is a place like at or on or in. Okay. Okay, so we still go back to the first one, nominative singular. Buddho gacchati or Buddha gachanti, or a Buddha goes. So even though you don't see the article but we understand is you need to put an article here because a Buddha goes. Okay, so this one is a nominative. All right. So let's do the according to Pali make easy. So let's go back to the just on page 20. So it's not easy to find it. So actually, I learned this book how many years ago? 2010, 13 years ago. It's such a long time. Okay, now. Okay, so we already finished this point. So we go this one. So far, here all these are masculine. All right. Now, in plural, so we look at the plural here. So Buddha, very easy. You put a dash here, become plural. So Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. All right. So Muni, when you put the long I, put a dash, it become long I. Muni. So Muni become Muni and Munayo. Garu, you, Garu, become Garavo. Like here, final you become you or we do know. So go, Gawo. Okay. So just remember Buddha, Muni, Munayo, Garu, Garawo, Senani, Senanino, we do know, Gawo. So you notice that there's a change here. All right. So okay. I can become AY. You can become AV. Right? Right. So why is it? There's in terms of grammar. So if you remember, so I write the point here. So let me, okay. So here, let me clean out this one first. So in Pali, A, when we call it strengthening, is strengthen. Use the word strengthening to A, all right? So I, same one become I, or I, sometimes become A, sometimes can change to AY. You, sometimes become U, AV, right? AV. Okay, so if you can remember this formula, then it's very easy for you to remember why the Muni can become Muni or Munayo with the AY, okay? Then you put the O here, Munayo, with this one. Then if you have a Garu, here become plural, Garu or Garavo. Here change it to AV, all right? So I, AY, you, AV, all right? And then you put the O at behind, right? So if you can remember this one, so easy for you to remember Muni, Munayo, Garu, Garavo. Any question up to this point?
This process is called strengthening.
Yeah, strengthening, yes. So you learn this in Duracell book, right? This book, they explain this one. So this one we call it the vowel, right? Vowel A. Sometimes they use the word like this, okay? Strengthening. Very simple, okay? So Muni, Muni, Maya. So this one, right? Okay, so this one we cover the nominative one. So the exercise, I think not so difficult. So, okay, let go back to this, my table. So I hope one day you can write this table by yourself. To write this table for masculine, you need to learn all the possible form like just now with this ending with vowel a, i, u, o, or you say like Buddha, normally singular. The meaning of Buddha is Buddha, of course. Then plural Buddha. Muni, monk or sage, plural become Muni, long I, Munayo. Garu, teacher, Garu, Garawo. Senani, Senani, still maintain the I. Why? Because original is I, all right? It's a long I. Because masculine can have the long I. Senani, no. All right? So here, you cannot put like AO here, AY here. Because it's already I, so you just put the NO. But when you put the NO, you notice that this I is become a short I, all right? So notice it, Senani, here Senani, here becomes Senani, it's become short I, no. So we do, and just put the no here, we do no. So this one is a special form, so we can just ignore it so far, all right? So today for lesson 10, so far, you only need to know the nominative for this part only. And that's in the lesson 10. Okay, so we look at the exercise there, but I will take it as your homework because I think it's very easy to do. Right. So far, any question up to here? All right. So if no question, so remember this one you need to just now this book had a mistake. This one is O, you know, you need to change it to O in your this Pali Made Easy book. Okay, page on the page one. Page 22, all right? So not 22. Page 21, yeah. So this is a singular, Buddha, all right? So please change yourself. Okay, now for exercise lesson 10 is very simple. So you just need to give the nominative plural, singular and plural form. Because the one shown here is a stem form. Remember we say stem form. So it's not singular, it's not plural, but it's a stem form. So you need to change accordingly. Give your answer, very short answer. So you write down as your homework. Okay? So if no question, I will go for lesson 11. Okay, so who write the message something? Okay. All right. Now, I think this is not so difficult because we already covered some here, lesson 11. The subject of the predicate may be a noun or its equivalent and is expressed by nominative case. So here, nominative case means just say subject, very simple, all right? The subject should agree, there's the word agree, with the final verb of the predicate in number and person. Number means, is it singular or plural? Person means, is it first person, second person, third person? So this one, I think you all learned before already. Not so difficult, right? Aham gacchami. Because it's a me, so it should be aham. And because it's a ma, it should be mayam. Tuam gacchasi is a singular. Tumhe gacchata is a plural here. So gacchati, all right? And te gacchandi. This one, we already learned this one on the previous lesson. But now from the so gacchati, you change it to puriso. All right? So gacchati, change it to puriso gacchati. Or muni gacchati, a sage goes. Or ravi ugacchati, sun arises. Or velu, bamboo, chalati, bamboo threads. All right. So this is these two are new vocabulary, ugacchati and chalati. Similarly, if you have puriso gacchati, you need to change it to puriso gacchanti. So let me copy here to my document. So this is a lesson level. Okay. Okay, now I think this is actually not so difficult. It's only here because if you already start to learn now, so you need to have more noun here. So the noun here is pul. Okay, pulisa. All right. So you have Muni here. You have Ravi here. Okay, this is a noun. So from this lesson onward, you need to know is a noun. What is noun here? Okay. And you also need to identify the verb. Right. So far, what kind of verb is mentioned? Because remember in the exam, I will ask you for the verb. So far, you had this. Okay, and you have this chalati also. Yeah, you have this one, tasanti. Okay. Tasanti. Okay. Now, purisa means, what's the meaning of purisa? Man, okay. Beside the man, another word is, anybody know? In the what ETB, so you have this purisa. So beside talking about man, we also talking about what? Brother Ong, what's another meaning of purisa? No. No.
Pugala.
Individual.
Pugala.
Pugala.
Yeah.
No, I mean the English word. English word.
Oh, man, a person.
Person. Okay.
Yeah.
What else besides this person?
Individual.
No, that is more on the pugala. You're talking about pugala, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People.
So
People.
now, yes, human.
Oh, human.
Yes. So when we in the ETP, so we are talking about the Buddha is the Tamil of what? Human, right? Beside the man, also human. Okay. What's the meaning of this? Pugala means maybe individual or person. Yeah. Person. Okay. How about Muni? Muni means
A saint, a sage.
saint. Okay.
Sage.
Sage.
Saint.
Saint. Okay, saint. Another meaning of
Ascetic.
Muni?
Can be ascetic also, no?
Yes, ascetic. All right. So, and then when we have the Buddha, we call it Satya.
Sakyamuni.
Okay, what's the meaning of Satya Muni?
Sage of the Sakyans.
Beside the Sakya Muni, the sage, there's another meaning of Muni. So, Muni means ones who understand.
Monk.
Yeah.
One understands. I don't know. We made the
Muni,
vow
you
of
understand. Yeah.
silence.
One of vow. Ascetic, holy man. Okay. Sage, wise person. All right. So beside this one, I think there's another meaning. Okay. Okay, we just take it as sage here. Holy ascetic, all right? So, okay. So Sakyamuni means the holy, or just now the one Muni means the one who understood, okay, of the Sakya race. Okay, Ravi. Ravi means sun. Okay, another word for sun is?
What's the word for sun? You forgot.
As you? Su?
Surya.
Surya,
Yes,
Surya.
Surya. All right, so yes.
Surya.
Surya, right? So all
Malay
these are
word,
masculine. So now beside you all learn the noun, you also now need to remember now you still at the masculine stage, you know, it's not at the feminine, whatever. Purisa, masculine. Muni is masculine. Sun is masculine. Okay, how about the moon? Is the moon masculine or what?
Masculine.
Moon, masculine.
Moon is, I think masculine also.
Masculine, okay, yeah. What is the name of moon?
Chanda.
Okay, so moon chanda. Is it this one? Moon. Chanda. Right or no?
CHANDA.
No H.
No H. Yeah, okay. Chanda. Okay,
Masculine.
so yeah. Because you have the chando. So how do you know that one is masculine? So remember I told you, ask you this question?
NA lah.
No. This one, yeah. Chanda. Masculine. Yeah, okay. How you know it's a masculine? Very easy. When you check the Tipitaka, you find the word chando. Right? Normally it refers to nominate singular. Okay. So far up to here, you have learned the Puliso, Muni, Ravi. All right. And then the verb here. Ukachati, Chalati,
Dasati.
Asati. Okay, Ukachati. What is the prefix?
Ud. UD. Ud.
Ud plus
Gachati. Gam.
gam become ga plus conjugation sign
A.
a plus t. All right. So first group, right? So Chalati is root is char, yes, plus r plus t. All right. So for all your homework, please remember to write, because if you don't write, it's better you write, prepare for your exam, right? So this way, the root is d, das, okay? So you can write, and then you can just give the meaning of the root if you know. Very simple, just to go. Charge is to move, to shake, yeah. To move, okay. Move also, to move. Also, I think to shake also. To shake. Das is bite, all right? So the snakes bite. So you can just write it. It's very simple. Okay, now. So now we need to know, now we on the nominative. So you write to now masculine, nominative, singular, right? And gachati, you write present tense, third person, singular. A man, you can see we need to put the word because if you write the word man goes, it's not good English. So you need to put the word man goes. And then remember, we say Buddho, Buddha. So Puriso, Purisa. So it's a masculine, nominative, plural. Gachanti is present tense, third person, plural. English, M-E, men, men, go. Right? So here goes, go. A man, men, go. Okay. Okay, Simin, can follow? Those who learn for first time. Can follow or not? With Jency?
Yes, can follow.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So now, Muni, Munayo. Remember, you see in the Pali just now, right? So that's how you start to apply all your lesson, okay? Muni, no, this is not, but singular also Muni, okay? Muni, Munayo. Right, so here. So, Muni Gachati, a sage goes. Muni or Munayo Gachanti, sages go. So same, the grammar point is still same, all right? So when this one will be under the Pali grammar, right? So nominative, masculine, nominative, singular, present, third person, singular. So this is a plural, present tense, third person, plural. Okay. Now next one. Ravi, all right? Now, you can see the meaning Ugachati. Ud, the meaning of ud according to prefix is up, okay? Gachati is goes, all right? So goes up means rises. So this means the meaning is rises. Or sometimes we have the meaning arise, okay? So the sun rises. Okay, now this is also same. It's a masculine, so nominative singular. Ukachati is present tense, third person singular. Okay, now we're going to change it to plural. All right, somebody try. Okay, Wendy, try how to change it to plural.
For the
Ravi become plural is. So you remember the this one? I become
long I
and then
Yo.
AY, all right? So here you become the Ravi become
Ravi
Ravi and
Ravayo Ravo
Ravayo, okay?
Ayo
And then
Ugachanti
Ukachanti,
NTI.
NTI, all right?
Yeah.
So how you translate it? How do you translate in English? Sun
Sun rises.
rise, singular, plural,
Plural.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the grammar here? This one is masculine,
Masculine, nominative, plural,
nominative, plural.
plural,
Okay. And this one is
present tense, first person.
no, the third
No,
person,
no, no, third person, plural.
plural. Okay. Right now, okay. Now this one, okay, Regency. All right. So can you tell me, okay? Ahi ahayo dasanti. All right. So ahi is it a masculine?
Plural. Masculine.
Masculine, yes.
Native.
Nominative,
Plural.
plural, okay. And then dasanti is
The Santi.
present tense,
The present tense, third person, plural.
plural, okay. Okay, now let's say we are going to change it this one to past tense, okay. Aries, okay. This is a present tense. Now we want to change it to past tense. Okay.
Past tense.
Remember what is past tense for this? Past tense finish with
Imsu.
imsu. Okay. So how do we change it? How do we, da
Da.
just da simsu, okay?
Da
Simsu.
Simsu.
Or you can put an A also if you want. Okay.
Da Imsu.
Da simsu.
Da Simsu.
There's a S here already. So you just put the das, all right? So put the das and then put the imsu. Or another form is what? Right? So
Da Sum.
das okay? Maybe you can put an A here if you like. Oh, all right, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are going to change it to a future tense. So how to change it? Okay, Chiwon, try this one. Change it to future tense. The Purisa Gachanti.
Purisa ga
Ga. Then
Chanti aga A
what is the future tense for third person? Isa?
Isa
Yes. Isa. Isan.
Isanti
All right. So how are you going to pronounce this one? Ga.
Ga
Ga.
Ga
Gachi.
Chisanti
Gachisanti. All right.
Gachi
Okay. So this is so we call it future third person plural. Okay. Now we are going to change it to objective. All right. Somebody try this. Okay. Shumoy. Try this one. Shumoy. Shumoy, can you unmute? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Objective is this is what okay.
What is objective?
That is it.
Okay already.
Yeah.
It.
Why? Yeah.
A. Finish with what? A.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Iya. Iya what?
Yes. Yes.
Ayum.
Ayum. Oh, this is
Remember?
blue.
Aya ayum. Right?
Device.
Aya ayum. Ayasi ayata ayami ayama. Alright. Ayum. Okay. So how are you going to make this sentence?
So we got
Okay. So how are you going to pronounce this?
kaceyum.
Gacheyum. Alright. Okay. So next person. So beside objective, we have the imperative. Alright. So try next person who is a bearer. How about the Guat Ngo? What is imperative for this third person plural?
Tentu.
Ending
Uga
is entu. Okay, entu.
Entu.
Okay. So how are you going to?
Uga chantu. Uga chantu.
Uga
Uga
chan.
chantu.
Yes, uga chantu. All right. So like this, you all can write your own exercise and you change accordingly. All right. Okay. So next one, we still have this one. Velu. Yeah. Okay. Velu chalati. So. Okay. So this is also this singular. So this is a present tense third person singular. Okay. Now is a velu. Yeah. Plural. So present tense third person plural. Okay. All right. Now we will have this vocabulary. So we have so many vocabulary. So we have the Purisa, Muni, Ravi, Chanda. We put in here already. Another one is a another one. Next one is a Sabenyo. Okay, Sabenyo. Now this one made of two words. Sabenyo means omniscient one. How to spell omniscient one? Omniscient one. How to spell? Sabenyo S-I-E-N omniscient one. Okay, who is omniscient one? The Buddha. All right. So you can divide it to Sabba plus Nya and this you. All right. So you got this Sabanyo. Okay. And why is it you got the double nya here? All right. Because the Sanskrit is Janati. Okay. The Sanskrit is this. Not this one. Okay. Try the nyana. Where is this TTS? No, this one. I'm looking for the nya.
I think GNA they put.
JNA, yeah, JNA. Okay. Yeah. So the Sanskrit is a
GNA.
nya. Okay.
Junior.
Yeah. Okay. So the here nya become nya, right? So nya. Okay. Sabenyo, sabanyo. Myanmar they pronounce as sabinyo. Here is sabanyo. Sabah means what is Sabah? Sabah means O. Okay. So nya is no. So omniscient one, the actual meaning is what? One who knows everything. So means omniscient one. He has an omniscient knowledge. Right? Sabenyo. So this is a masculine. So here why it showed it because they want to show this long U. Right? Long U. So if you have long U, It's like you decline with like this one. Long U, you decline. Plural will be still maintain the U, and then you put the no here. When you put the no, you must put the short here, right? Okay, so let's see. So here the word is a deseti. So sabenyo deseti. All right. What is the root is? This plus a dese, all right, and then plus the t. Okay. I think 7 conjugation sign. Okay, this one. W. So
Yes, Miss Saiji. May I ask a question?
yes,
Sabanyo, what is the conjugation sign?
you mean this one? This is
Yes.
a noun. There's no conjugation sign. It's a noun here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is a, because now from this lesson 10, you start learn the noun. So this is a noun. There's no conjugation sign. Only this verb, there's a conjugation sign. All right. Here, what you have is a, we call it a suffix u, right? So singular will be you, plural will be still maintain the long u, but put the no. Put the no with a short u. Same like this. You can translate according to this. We do, plural. We do no, right? So like just now, okay. So plural, singular is this one. This is a masculine. Normally this is singular. So present tense, third person singular. So masculine, nominative singular. Plural. So here will be present tense, third person, plural. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So far, any question? All right. I think this is all cover the lesson 10 and 11 already. All right. Okay. No question. We continue on this exercise. This 10, 11. Okay, now we go for this. It's very important for you because when you know the verb, you know how to what gerund and infinitive. So infinitive is not a kind of like normal verb. So just keep the name infinitive, right? So I think this one I don't need to explain to you. You all should know already. Itwa with the put the tum here. Das, dasati, das, a and ti. Dasitwa, dasitum. Here, remember to put the n with the dot here. Okay, bites. Patati, all these are new vocabulary, all right? So pat and a and ti. So patitwa, patitum. Vicharati, vi, prefix vi, root is char. A and ti, moves about, walks. Vichalitwa, vicharitum. One, the root is one, all right? 1 plus a and t. A means I pronounce it a, but here is e, all right? 1 and e and t. He described, he praised. So I think here type wrongly, you know. So there are some typing mistake here. So change it to, if you have the book with you, please change it to this one. This is not, this is a, all right? Wanetwa, wanitum. So harati, he takes away, he carries. Halitwa, haritum. So I think this is all easy for you all. Okay, so some more. Now, O, right? So O means down. You see the meaning down. Like just now, Yudi, ud is up. So this is down. He goes down. Gum. Okay. You can see the root here already. Gum, right? O gachati goes down, or O gantua, or O gamma. MA. You see the here is MA. So how to get this MA? Anybody can guess where is this MA coming from? Test your knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay. So this is a special one, all right?
Prefix plus YA.
So you go under this.
MY equals to MM.
Okay. So O means actually another one is O, awa, right? So you sometimes hear the awa or here O, same meaning, plus the gum, plus the ya, right? Remember for the gerund, we have two suffix. One is itua, right? Another one is this ya. Ya is only when there is a prefix, okay? So itua is not all the time you must put I, so we put a bracket here. Gerund means itua or ya. Ya is when there's a prefix. So awa or gum and ya. So here, then my become assimilated. So we call it assimilated here. So if you're going to write, sometimes you don't need to write the word assimilated so long. You just use this here and you put the underline, and then you just write the mm. Then we understand that m and y become mm, right? So like this. If you write like this, you don't even need to show me this one, all right? So this is a all right. So this is gerund. So English present tense will be he goes down, or here you can translate having gone down or after going down. And then this is the tum. Tum means to go down, right? So anu is a prefix. Root is sas and a and t, all right? So anasasitua and anu sas with the ya, put the insertion of I, right? Anasasitum. Admonish, or sometimes beside admonish, another meaning of advice. Rohati, the root can be ruh, or it can be a r okay, h, or here roh also can. Grows up, rohitwa rahitum, all right? Viharati, you know the word. Vi and harati. So like monastery, we call it vihara, right? Dwells. So vi and harati. Vi prefix R is the root, A and T. So viharitwa, viharitum. Jan, janyati. So the root is J-A-N, okay? Jan. Jan become Ja. Jan change it to a J-A. Okay. Jan with the conjugations ya. Okay, which group ya?
Third group.
The group, okay. So Jan becomes Ja plus ya, conjugation sign plus T. So jaitua, jaitum. All right, this one you all write yourself, all right? Or when you come to do the exercises, you need to do the verb analysis in your homework also. Okay, so we already lesson. So let me clear this. So I think this is not difficult to do, but please do the analysis like just now, all right? So you all should do A and B for your homework. So if you are hardworking, you can do the C also. Or if you're hardworking, you can do the D also. If you're hardworking. And then for this one, I think actually I should analyze, but I think it's also not so difficult. You all should do it by yourself, you know, because I think you all should try, all right? So you all should try, and maybe we discuss next week, all right? So I think we finished today, because for newcomer, it may be a lot